Excellent. Thank you very much, Professor. So we go for the dairy farms. Professor Marcos, thank you very much for your
Professor. Não, vem cá, vem cá. Qual que é o seu? O seu, eu acho que é esse aqui, né? É. Esse aqui. Certo? Ah, peraí.
So nós asking to move what the new site that did not reduce statistics of the country. Certainly like this is the really producing work because of how and energize that high 30% receiving so we have this there is no the second stage about 10%, about 20% of the new farmers are in the Resolution analysis can be considered a technified implementation farming systems, lots of corn, and traditionally we produce milk and coffee. The only activities of the region and focus of the university, but before we time is to, let's say, crops, coffee and it's really important. So that's why it's my activities, my extension activities, and international activities, and it's not local. Because the importance of the food running waters, very big countries, I'd say specifically. So, in the emphasized department, we are 4 professors today, directly involved in the food sector. I did not include foraging. We also do forages. But, and we have lots of, I think the university is involved with them, like the economic department, food science, banking, in agronomy, veterinarians in microbiology, in people, like research together with all those departments and probably more. I'm not sure if recently it started last year, we started a robotic milking system for a 60-70 house. That was interesting that we have a new robotic system working very easy also. This experimental farm have plenty and automatic gates for every intake. That would allow us to farm to research. Historically, the farm has done lots of extension and teaching and not a lot of research. So not even a structure that needs to be worked, but at least it's there. We also have nutrition and reproduction laboratories, many. Lots of research in commercial farms. And also have like some software farms in firms, which is mostly government and I think companies that government. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the 4 victims of the 4 professors. They'll be showing you your age, department, so it's the reproduction guy, it's a Debian, and an MMS from the Federal University of the Universe, and we like this usually from the North Carolina State University. So this is research is done with dairy cows for the last year or so. Okay, so the factor for the count and growth factors of worldwide development it's published in the Federal University of Seattle, you know. They also studying jet minerals, organization, very chaos, it's a company, very back. Also working on prototype cities, with crowd at first using this. One second on. 1997, doing the video, and then after work with people, on that side, discussing. So this is basically what I have done, lots of work with competitors, like goals and tasks, and essentially a lot on avoid nitrogen excretion and the always things are so what everything happens to people hydrogen, essential one, lots of extracts, minerals, like a headquarters, they will go to you, but I was a person here for 1 year, I came back last year, and my body never was a lot of cheating, watch out for cheating, violation, cheating behavior. I find by that, we developed opportunities to measure relation sensors, use for instance, connection with the Scotland combat, and the idea is to use successful research, we have sensors, good words, Scotland, and the worldwide, but the accuracy research needs to be developed. Usually, I've been doing all my life, measurement of visual observation, so visual observation about the sensors. And recently, just years back, it has increased. Acquisition of all people from all has increased a lot. Very recently, the extent of the time, but all has been grown, so the picture of microns has increased a lot. Like by even the people and also so it's done. What kind of this company? And Christian a lot of work, still positive. First work, one day, one company. I said, well, only was enough for me now. Yes, for me. Look of work, I took a prescription, today we are following the hops. It's very important to me, to get nitrogen, and also last year in some more vitamins. I took Nitrogen phenomena, especially in nutrition and reproduction. This is 2006. This is also lithium from February sulfur. And that's the February version of neutralize. Sulfur also. And this is a remote tanking. They all side violence just affected by protein which in vivo like the baby cups. After that, partnership with Eponym Research Institution. And the Federal University of Control Rates and the University of Stores, more and more friends for a lot of work. Take of the mineral site regulation features and with the BAPA and Federal University of Minerals, investigation. Very recently also, so it's the conjunction. And Marina is the youngest, 2016. Okay. He's Gandhi and LLS at the top. They met some houses with both and progressive. And this, she has been done lots of companies involved. It's presentation of the bank for basically cows. Stress, stress, China and the United States. And so they don't have out for us to see. I think some sort of reaction and measurement from the additional investigation of compensation, survey of nutritional practices, publication of people and sources to increase efficiency, and using systems for nutritional management to develop profit program. Okay, so basically, I think that's what I have. Hope
Obrigado.
Let's move forward then. We're going to have Professor Márcio then. Yes. So we're going to present more issues. Also the person in charge of arranging all this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Fernando. Not only me, but Professor Nani is here too. So thank you everyone to be here today. The presentation will be from Professor Mateus participating in selecting part for Professor that you have here on the other side. So he's coming. All right. Let me try something here before starting my real presentation.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay, so presenting myself again, my name is Marcio. I'm a professor in animal science here, and I'm an animal scientist management, and it's important to say to you that it's a pleasure to be here today, receiving and both of you. It's a pleasure to present a little bit about our work here. And about the Forge D, we have a new component. I can tell you after that the new component Professor Lewis is here too. But we have 4 professors in our team today. And I have a very quick presentation about our team and researching problems, okay? So a little overview, a quick picture about our systems with the Brazilian stock agricultural universities recognized international and national things about the innovation in animal science and forage performance, the forage production. We have like applied research. We have studying in pasture management, forest conservation, and competition, and relationship between among these 3 areas. The areas we conducted trials with different forage species, evaluation management strategies, and production systems, in forage production and also in forage conservation. We have a collaborative with research, international researchers around the world, evaluating forage and forage conservative forage silage and everything, and forage production with private companies and also the livestock producers as partners. We have a forage unit like a sector that dedicated for teaching and research in areas. So this is a very important space to receive some students and professors working together on that area, and to have some special machines and everything that we use every day to improve our studies and researching. The experimental fields, we evaluate differential progresses and legumes. So one of our specializations here is a mixer pastures, and so we use tropical grasses and legumes using like both of them together. Okay. rotating the same batcher. And we have several management practices. So like on ongoing projects, we have developing some solutions, special solutions for sustainability of livestock system production in the United States. I'm working with some modeling, Professor Daniel working with this mixed gestures, and Professor Carla Thiago working with forage conservation. So our faculty members, so like I said, I'm introducing myself, so I'm working with analysis on forages and modeling and forage growth. This is my specialty. I'm using my strategy to show about, to tell you about our job here, using some papers, okay, the papers. So this is the two of the most important papers that I published with some friends and partners. So improving the crop growth and forage model, Bruno works with this, with Dr. Good in the United States, and have a very good team in Brazil that works with this model here. And the regrowth of brachiaria grass is related to stable practice and fertilization. So I'm working with the forage growth and modeling and trying to model this systems, right? So returning here, I have the Professor Daniel Casagrande. He's came here during this morning, but we had some classes. Just according we are ending our semester because of this, we don't have several professors here, but they are watching by internet, and maybe they have the access to the material after this presentation. Okay? He works with methane reduction using legumes production and quality forage in the United States. So our main objective with legumes here is to use the beetle peanut, so peanuts to mix it with pastures, forages, to reduce methane and improve nitrogen to the system, right? So two papers that he published recently is a carbohydrate and protein digestibility traits head over fertilizer or mixed tropical pastures and forage peanut legumes as using a strategy to improve meat production without increasing livestock greenhouses. So, like we saw during this morning that you are working on this in Tennessee, it's very interesting that you have very good connections using modeling systems and mixed tester systems. We can maybe have a very good relationship with the projects that we have there. Okay. So the third professor, Professor Thiago Bernardes, Professor Mateus are talking about him with more deeply. So he works with the feeding strategies and big data today, during this day. So two papers that he published recently was the effect of bacillus-based interactive feed microbial on performance, blood parameters, and technical characteristics of food improvement, morphometrics, and intestinal gene expression. So one word that the professor that came working with us with forage conservation using the livestock system and Professor Bruno together, they work together. And the snack lage is one of the technology too. So using this case, it's not like residue as a fiber source and finishing it together. So that's a very, very interesting thing that we are using today here in Brazil. And the last, Professor Carla Avila, she works with the chemical and microbiological characteristics of solid fermentation and screening of complex and process of optimization. So in this case, she is working with the particle size and forage length, affecting fermentation, and the other paper here is the effect of amylases and the storage length and losses. So she's working directly with some biological things on site, right? So as you can see, we have a good overview about the forage systems in Brazil. Okay. Good for,
Yeah, excellent. Yes.
So we have a good overview about how the team works, and we have from the destiny, I can say, that we have professors working, 4 professors covering all the areas of the forage in one institution. Sometimes we have have some universities that don't have a team like this. We are very good we had a very good school. All of them are very good professors and have international partners, and this is very interesting for collaboration. And as you can see, I'm working with the forages and testing new breedings. The professor Daniel working with Mr. Pastures and animal behavior and systems. We have Professor Thiago working with beef cattle using some silages and some strategies for this. And Professor Carl in the end of this sequence working with some selecting microbiological and bringing something about forage conservation and testing this here. So we have very good research units and areas to do this inside the university, and we have some collaboration with farmers around here. And our work are spreading by our papers, and we are very happy to have very good return from this society about our work. Right? So just to finish, because the presentation will be very, very like our steps as a forage team, our vision. At UFLA, we are committed to advance forage science through the high quality research and practical solutions to livestock production and seek sensibility of the farmers, what they need, and we are trying to do something like you are doing in America, trying to be more confident to farmers and try to work with something related to the problems that they have every day. We try to solve these problems, and we are welcome to international collaborations and technical visits. And we are always open to exchange knowledge and maybe information. And finish my presentation here. I'd like to say thank you so much for being here today and receiving you in Brazil. So you are very welcome at Animal Science Department at UFLA.
Thank you, Professor Martin. I thank Professor Matheus Jambelli for his presentation of cattle. And there's a story about Professor Matheus that's very interesting that I think the whole internationalization was the first huge courses in English at the Animal Science program. So we invited him, for instance, in our graduate program to share his experience, and it was a life-changing. Now we have so many sources that are offered in English at the graduate level. We share it with our colleagues at the University of Tennessee, because we'd like not only to science students, but also to receive international students, not only to do work, but also actually take courses. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Flavio, for the introduction. And it's nice to meet you guys. I'm sorry to be here just now. I'm in a faculty meeting with learning. So I'm Matheus Jambelli. I will introduce you to our team that is working on beef here at UFLA.
Stay within the range of the chairs.
Yes, please.
All right.
Just because the camera, we are broadcasting live, so.
So, although we have many professors working on beef cattle here, I'll introduce you four of our colleagues that are beginning working on this area and different topics and aspects that are related to beef cattle. And we have one of the main units is that we have a beef cattle unit inside, so within the campus, not far at 1 mile from here. So it's pretty easy for the students, mainly for the graduate students, to work on their projects, on their activities. It's a good advantage that we have, especially related to the capacity to do experiments and to have people working on research in our unit. And our unit is about 120 acres. So, and we have most dedicated to this kind of production pastures. And then we have developed research focused on improve the pasture utilization and focus on the nutrition of animals on the environment that are usually they usually face on field conditions in Brazil. And we have 3 farms, 3 sustainable one feedlot dedicated to have up to 300 heads, and with the capacity to use individual pens and collective pens up to 4 animals. And we have another experiment farm that was recently released. It's for experimentation using animals in collective pens and with automatic feeders. It's a national system similar to the Instant Pack or ProSafe, as you know in the US. And third experiment farm, which is dedicated to experiments with we evaluated in tablet and college animals that is mainly used with the animals that are cannulated in the room. So I'll introduce you for our colleagues. Me, Professor Eric Batista, who is here in the room, and Professor Marcio Ladeira, who is a sabbatical here right now, and Professor Thiago Bernardes, who is also studying research on our area. So first, to introduce you, Professor Eric Batista. Eric has a background on animal science and and has experienced through the Kansas State University doing his PhD, and he's also scheduled to start to do a sabbatical here, starting this year at Washington University in Netherlands. And Eric was hired in 2016, is that right? And he's working mainly, he teaches ruminant nutrition and feed evaluation, and has developed research on maybe on protein and amino acids. One of the main points about Eric's career is that he is now the leader of the Proteus Network. This is a research network that involves all most of the federal universities of this state in the United States, and it is dedicated to improve the research with protein nutrition and amino acids, nutrition and metabolism with livestock animals, and accounts for, I would say, more than 30 research within this state, and it is a very important point. And it's also important because it's helping to improve our capacity to do research and to standardize methods of research in amino acid nutrition here in Brazil. And most of the projects that the main projects that Eric is developing right now are related to the first one, related to the effects of protein concentration and post-luminal release of urea on the performance, digestibility, and metabolism of baby and beef cattle. And Eric also has a project about impacts of increasing levels of glutamate in beef cattle diets, and third big project about the effects of unusual levels of dry deciduous grains and green finished diets of beef cattle during evaluations on nutritional, metabolism, and also urine and kinetics aspects. So, and I have the email for all the colleagues that I'm introduced clearly open for collaboration. And Eric has collaborated mainly with Kansas State University and University of Illinois in the United States. Okay. My colleague, Professor Marcio Ladeira, he he works, he qualified with and nutrition professor, and works with research mainly with beef cattle, beef quality and nutrigenomics, beef cattle nutrition, and also quality, and also some projects on maternal nutrition and fetal ready. And Marcio served for a long period in the University of Administration and has a background on the animal science, universities of Minas Gerais, and had the opportunity to do one sabbatical period in 2013 at Fort Lee University in the US, and he is now in another sabbatical at the Florida, University of Florida in the US. And Marshall has many qualifications related to beef quality and evaluation of nutritional aspects affecting beef quality of beef cattle here in Brazil, and has collaborated mainly with the University and also the University of Illinois in the US. Okay. Professor Tiago Bernardes. Tiago is an associate professor in our department, and he has a background also. He's a journalist and with grad studies in animal science, and had opportunity to be visiting scholar during a sabbatical period at the University of Florida in 2014. And Tiago is a specialist on feed conservation and has developed recently research evaluating many corn processing and different methods of conservation of corn grains and corn silage, most dedicated to better utilize those ingredients in ruminant feed of ruminant diets. And myself, I have also a background on the animal science, and both undergraduate and undergraduate, and I have experienced that period in the University of the United States Animal Research Center in Nebraska, based on Nebraska, through my PhD, and I was scheduled to stay 1 year in Canada, developing disease for something that we at the University of Guelph. And I'm a beef cattle production and nutrition professor, and I've been working mainly on nutritional strategies and nutritional systems for beef cattle, with works on evaluating mechanisms of animal growth and development, and also maternal nutrition field programming, and I'm also dedicated to the area of biostatistical approach and data analytics applied to animal science. And so the project that I'm involved right now, the first month is focused on quantitative assessment and growth biology of skeletal tissue in 4 different bovine types, I would say, bovine types that are used for meat production. And this is the comparative and comprehensive evaluation that includes dairy origin males from different production systems that we have for dairy production here in Brazil. We are included on this study. And it's a study in collaboration with the Washington State University in the United States. It's a part of a call that was it's supported by FAPEMIG, the state agency for research. I have also a project that is called I'm now in charge of the development of the product called Efficient COCAF, which is a national collaborative initiative to enhance COCAF operations in Brazil. The efficiency of COCAF operations in Brazil This project involves industry, academia, and also producer partnerships. I have another research project that is called research on it's called intensification strategies for cattle operations in Brazil, with evaluation of nutritional fruits and modeling of productive potential across diverse biomes and regions in Brazil. I have to say that around 12% of all the Brazilian area is used with the cattle operations. So and we have a lack of fishes that is very huge to be exploited on this part of the sector. So I'm trying to organize colleagues and to work to institute focus on develop research that will be able to improve this sector here in Brazil. And I'm also dedicated to projects on the physiology and metabolism of big cows, mainly evaluating both nutritional environment and also the physiological stage of those animals and how this impacts mainly the development of the offspring of those animals. And I'm also in charge of the Brazilian Journal of Animal Science, which is one of the probably the most traditional journal that we have in the area of animal science here in Brazil. We are indexing in most of biometric data that we have, like the Scopus, Web of Science and others. And we have now a impact factor of 1.1, and also in charge of I'm also the scientific director of the Brazilian Society of Animal Science. And I took two recent publications from my group just to show some examples of the research that we have been doing on this area. This paper was published in 2024. It's about internal protein supplementation in the feeder station and how this is used to improve offspring performance and metabolism of beef cows. And the main point of this publication is that we have found an enhancement in the offspring, 10% enhancement offspring from during the postnatal life that is attributed to maternal nutrition during a period of 100 days from the gestation of the cows. Second paper that I would like to show you was published this year, 2025, and it's a paper about pregnancy effects in terms of performance, efficacy, and digestion kinetics parameters in beef heifers. And on this paper, we have revealed 44% variation in the nutrient uptake capacity for the digestible energy uptake between the meat and the late gestation in beef cows, and this impacts. This has a very big impact on the strategies that we do on the management and the nutrition of beef cows in Belgium, because on the production systems, producers were in the past suggested to take care of the cows better on the late gestation than on the meat gestation, when we have important variation on their nutrient uptake capacity across these two different stages of the production cycle, and it has to be accounted on nutritional and feeding patterns to those animals. So this is all that I have to present to you, and here I would be glad to cover any questions. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mateus. We are going to have a discussion of the last presentation, okay? So the last one will be at the end. All right. So we're going to invite then Professor Elaine Maria Dornelles to present about preventive medicine in animal health. Right after her presentation,
Thanks.
Any discussions, questions?
Morning. So first I wanna thank you for the opportunity to talk to you this morning, to meet you and to say a little bit about what we are doing here. I truly believe that we can do something meaningful when we work together. So I do like to do collaborative work, so I'm very glad to have this opportunity. So I'm going to present our team in the laboratory. First, I'm here representing the Laboratórios Integrados de Saúde Animal e Saúde Coletiva, what means that is a collective laboratory, integrated laboratory for animal health and reproductive health. We have a big team there. I'm going to also present you the field of research we are doing now, the projects, the collaboration we already have, and we are open to new collaborations, and also our infrastructure. The infrastructure, we want to have the opportunity in local after this meeting. So he is our team. Professor Ana Paula, who was talking this morning, she is in the lab, she's a specialist in immunology. Professor Christian is a biologist. Myself, I am a microbiologist and also immunologist. And also we have now Karine, she's the new one in the team. She's a bioinformatician professor, and also she is a specialist in infectious disease, especially bacterial infectious disease. Glaucia, she is specialist in microbiology. And also another recent professor that joined our team is he works in college. We have two technicians. One of them, Erica, she's now in pharmacy. She's doing postdoc in me, University of Montpellier. We have Theo also, who is a technician in our lab. We have a PhD, postdoc, master's, and undergraduate students. Here we have this small part of our team. We believe that today we have like 80 people in the lab, all together, working. What we do in the laboratory? We work trying to focus on the diseases that are important for animal production, which affects animal production, and also that can affect the human health. So we are the center of one health initiative. We work together with private companies, with farmers, with animal state authority, animal authority. We work together with them. We address mainly, but not only, brucellosis, bovine mastitis, antimicrobial resistance, colitis, salmonella, salmonella, zoonotic TB. We work using different tools to address these main diseases that affect human and animal health. We work with classical and molecular epidemiology, developing models that we use in molecular biology. We are now developing and validating together with the private companies or by ourselves diagnostic tests, like the point of care diagnostic test, which we can use in the field. We work with different tools for controlling prevention. I'm going to show to you one of our recent work that was developed in close partnership with the Animal Health State Authority, that we were trying to develop a model for cattle network movement, trying to understand how cattle move in our state and how we can develop tools to minimize the spread of infectious disease in this state. We also work very hard on antimicrobial resistance. It's a very challenge these days, and animal production is the center of a lot of criticism because of the antimicrobial resistance. So we are working this, trying to understand now, we are working with 200 farms in Minas Gerais, trying to understand the behavior of the farmers, which are the main antimicrobials they use, for which disease they use antimicrobial, how these use of antimicrobial are related to the antimicrobial resistance in these farms. We have a project together with the biggest company that buys food in the state of Minas Gerais. And we also have a genomics and metagenomic approach, especially microbiome. We are studying microbiome of cheese. Very popular in the rice. We are working in this. And also metagenomics of bats, trying to understand if we can be reservoir of any disease. Also other animal, wild animals and with pigs now. I would like to go by Professor Dimitri, that we are working on with swines now. And we have a lot of projects trying to understand the whole parasite interaction, especially with projects addressing the development of vaccines and trying to understand the immune response of the foods in the child. So we work mainly, again, but not only, with research organs. We have a BSI-3 facility, some of our which are a huge threat in terms of antimicrobial resistance. E. coli, Salmonella, and as I said, other disease. I'm going to pass very fast, but just show you a little bit of our recent works, some of the papers that we have published. Here, addressing genomics, we isolate and sequence several of the microorganisms in the zoological animals as well as in humans. So here are two works that we have done. Also works in genomics, trying to understand the genetic base of antimicrobial resistance. Because for some of these, we do not know how they use it. For like E. coli, for Salmonella, for ours, we know very well that from some of the works we find about the resistance from the first time. Three multiple resistance strains with very alarming things because before that was thought that cell could not be resistant to antimicrobials. So we are trying to understand which are the genetic mechanisms of this resistance. Also, we are working in the immune response after vaccination of animals with brucellosis. We are developing new vaccines here. We are working with the team of the big captain because they are so welcome and they are working together, testing the vaccines and evaluating the immune response. Several marks like IL-6, IL-4, and memory cells, T cells, TC4 cells. Here are one of our papers, one, but we have new papers in these. Here we are also working with trying to understand the occupational risks of brucellosis in Brazil, working more in the public health, like working and areas requiring field and they are exposed to brucellosis. We did this work in the Gerais. We are now, we also have the District Federal, but we are now in Goiás, Tocantins, São Paulo, Rio, and Mato Grosso. So we have published some papers, but we have another that in preparation. We are working with the massage too, is the main problem we think in infectious disease in daily production is the number one. So we are working especially in genomics and also we are validating another tool for using for the diagnosis of problems. And we work mainly with Cytotox, but also with Cytotox Galaxy and Cytotox groups there in the lab. We also have the E. coli strain that we were trying to detect that is E. coli that is adapted to the microbiome, like that could have a behavior less the same or likely to Streptococcus aureus or Streptococcus galaxy. We have some papers published in this field also. And this is the video that I mentioned before. We are working in modeling, trying to understand how the movement of cattle immunizer, now also in Santa Catarina, I stay in the southwest, to understand how we could mitigate the spreading of disease in the state by cutting the chain of transmission, stopping hubs of animal movement. We have very nice results in this, and we think that this can help the animal health authority to better control disease that we still have in some states. We do not have freedom of disease anymore, So our attention of the animal health authority goes to brucellosis and tuberculosis because the disease that are comparing Brazilian baby projects to the export from other countries. So I can say I work with the government in this program almost 15 years now, and I can say we have progress since then, since we started in 2001, but we still a lot to do. So there is a kind of research that we can still do in this field. As I said, we are working on with the microbiome of cheese because it's something very cultural and of social importance, especially in Minas Gerais. We have done work in Canastra, which is a very traditional region of producing cheese in Brazil, but also in Araxá. And 2 weeks from now, we are going to Cebu, developing a very huge program to understand which are the signature of this cheese. Because even we know that cheese are very traditional in Brazil, and especially in Minas Gerais, we have very characterized regions. We don't know which microorganisms are present in this cheese. If are they different among the regions? How they can be related to the flavor, to the color, to the pieces of this cheese. So we are doing this work. And also we are working on the analyzing the Compass Farm effect to understand how these needs increasing in the city every day can facilitate or not the spreading of infections. As the bag is evolved and can come from one place in the barn to the other place. Here I'm going to show you the infrastructure wall, but here we have a BSF2 facility. We do PCR there, real-time PCR, cell culture, microbiology, and serology. We also have since 2022 a BSF3 facility. What I'm really proud of, I'm going to show you today. It's a very new one, and we are doing a lot of work with the companies. As Bruno said, we also work with clinical trials here. They ask us to test products, validate methods, so we are doing this also in the BSF3 facility. We have expertise in food cytometry, controlled microscopy. We do mouse experiment in the BSF3 facility. We do cell culture and microbiology there too. We are building now, it's not already, so I'm not going to show you today, but we are doing a bioinformatics laboratory. We got the 12 computers for that. We have 2 servers. One is already in use, but one is we are buying this one. And we have 2 nanoforming ion sequences. Most of the sequences that we do today is Illumina sequence, high-throughput sequence, but we are introducing the nanoforming ion. We have 2 equipments there in the lab, and we are doing this sequence. Here is the collaboration that we already have. I put more like institutions, or the universities and government institutions like our Minister of Agriculture, IMA, but we also, I put it here, but we also have collaborations that were celebrated between us, the Water Party, and the SEPA, and Seguramente, CCPE, a lot of companies that we are working together, trying to find real problems, identify solutions for the real problems. So, thank you for your attention, and I will be glad to take questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Lang. So we open the session of questions and discussion of the different subjects. I will discuss with Professor Lang that actually there are all the subjects that are very much international, also in the animal science, like fisheries, swine, and also other fields that connect to the animal science, like the food science and so on. It's a short visit, actually, it's the first one that we have here. And a strategy that we are doing as Office of International Affairs, because it's broad and each college has its own capabilities. So we have our ambassadors, international of these ambassadors at each unit, each college. So here, Professor Naja and Professor Márcio are our ambassadors. Because you know that to grow internationally, we must have those people that are specialists in the field that can really do international. And then we connect as an inspiration just to strengthen this place. For instance, something that we discussed with the colleagues from Professor Bessi is that we have many projects on international projects on extension in African countries, for instance. And neuroscience is an important player in those projects. It's supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to pursue. And actually, what we are trying to connect is those the students that we have, international students. Most of our international students are from African countries. We have really about a student more than us, right? And we're going to do some international projects, so we can connect and make this sort of like so I invite then Professor Naja, Professor Márcio to guide this discussion. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we can stay in our places, we don't need to change the places. So it's very easy to say that we are very welcome. Here's the first presentation from another institution at Animal Science and our School of Animal Science and Veterinary Education. So you're very welcome. As Professor Claudia told us, we had a lot of information related to why the feature is in other areas of the animal science and so the agenda is too short. So probably have the next time I have more time, maybe spend one of you some areas. So in the end of the session, we have walking into the lab of Professor just across the street. But now we can discuss a little bit more about what is the main objective that you are bringing to our university and why you are here. We saw some information about your university, or your faculty, your institution, but what you are trying to do with us here, if you have some, okay, we want to do something special with the forage science or just with the beef science or dairy science. What is the main object that you have to come in here and separate with our university?
Well, first of all, let me say something that I'll have to Tom and most of the channel do. But first of all, we very much enjoy the review of the presentation. As I said, the time is limited, but we get no idea of what the program scope is from poultry to health and veterinarians. And it's very helpful to looking at the projects. It's very clear to me that we have a lot of things in common. So what you have here, faculty, for example, right? Let's say, monitoring health, One Health, the nutrition standard, NRC standard. I know the U.S. has been trying for years and years trying to upgrade that. I'm so glad to see that now we have a important position to presenting NRC, and I think we can certainly use that. Poultry is fine, and that's just the purpose of this really is to explore some commonality looking at students and what can we work together. And I was also fascinated by the faculty that spent time in this medical. You're talking about Purdue, and Canada. How about Tennessee? Okay, so next time I want to see more faculty come to Tennessee, and because it is clear, we have resources, infrastructure. Looking at research education centers, so that we can do this. So it's about 20,000 hectares of land between crops and animals. And so I think our production system is very similar. Pastures. It's not like in Iowa, Colorado, for example, feedlot. We have some of those. So I think these are the things that we're looking at. We want to identify some areas
I see that the robotic milking also we have that. And so again, just these things we just probably need to sit down and Bruno, Tom, and our faculty, now that we know these, let's focus on a few things. You can't get too many things, too broad, that you won't be able to. But I think that we need to probably start, again, I may be a little biased. I have a background in animal science, even though I'm an engineer. This is a near and dear to my heart, right? So I was in animal production systems. It's a big industry for Tennessee. And so same with Bruno, for forage and beef. Beef and poultry is number two, one or two industry. We have swine production and that. Their production is kind of on the decline. So, but it's still there. So we need to support their research. So that's kind of the thing we're looking at. So yesterday we talked about, I'm meeting with the government person, Yehuda, and we talked about potential long-term, the AI based center for agriculture and medical sciences. Sounds like, the agriculture is number one priority based on the president. I see that hopefully 40% of the funding will be invested in research. So I was excited to see that. I think anything in here, the UT agricultural medicine is number one. We're very much investing a lot of these research areas. So I can see that. And the focus on some of these areas that let's work on. Faculty exchange, student sandwich, what are the possible low hanging fruits? That's kind of where I come from. So gentlemen, Tom and Bruno, feel free to chime in. Something.
Maybe I just add, so we'd be very interested in looking at student exchange, both directions. The faculty exchange, seeing many of you have done or are doing sabbaticals up to North America, if there's opportunities here for any of you, I think we would love that. I expect that we would have faculty who would want to come down here for short term. I don't know if we can tap into also this, what we learned at faculty, faculty grant in terms of Brazilian researchers in the United States coming back to Brazil for some periods of time as well. And I think maybe the only other thing I would add is looking for ways in which we can partner together to leverage funding opportunities that our governments may have or foundations may have that we can work together on. There's a lot I think we can do bilaterally, but there's I think also a lot that we can do where we bring the best of Brazil and the US together between our two institutions and work, for example, in different parts of the world here as well. Maybe Nigeria, for example. And I think there's a lot of interest in what we could do there. We're really happy to have.
No, that's it. I was very happy to find out this program. Yes, we were talking about maybe they're going to open coming March. They want to bring the Brazilian researchers to stay here for up to 6 days. It's not like they want to take the trip without a week ago and didn't fly as we were expecting. So we decided to go short term. They economic and then it became this very kind of structured relationship and see. I think the main idea is to let you guys know what you're doing, what you guys are doing, and then we start on more in each of these subjects. I know sometimes you just saw a name here today that he wasn't meant to be much to leave with Bart. I will be more than glad to talk to you and say yes in person and make the connections. I think it won't help you compare. It's pretty much what you do. There's no reason to not be doing something together, right? On the AI, a lot of data nutrition. I think we have a lot of faculty there that can be a really nice link with you guys here. We both can work together.
I was fascinated by hops, using hops for methane mitigation. I'm curious, what's the efficacy of that? Is it help with methane emission? You mentioned that. You mentioned that. So we grow hops, but for beer, right? For beer.
Yeah.
There's one big league, thousands,
Yeah.
and it was, something else, and the result was not, so basically, second,
Yeah.
work with crowds.
Okay. Well, talk about, tips for enhancing, performance and also looking at, i.e. the gas emissions, not only looking at the enhanced performance, but also increase the fuel efficiency and reduce the emissions. Those things we have probably will come out, microbiome, nutrition, and also from a community standpoint, just like what the how we manage pasture or forage and not the emissions as well as the performance. So,
Probiotics, essential oils.
yes, right,
That's a hot topic.
yeah, okay.
It's just more environment.
But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, even to keep the same performance and lower the environmental impact. That's a gain, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, last year they had the two proposals of $5 million each for specifically addressing very bad. They're asking one for the federal one. So we're close, not didn't quite get it, but we're going to continue to pursue that.
And that's everybody wants.
Yeah,
Yes, one of them.
yeah,
Right.
right.
We advertise those. So our nitrogen levels is, we have to prove that we have students and facilities.
Yeah.
So maybe we can try to keep them up. 20,000.
The other thing that they mentioned that is without ETCs, we all know that about 90% of the communities are animals, so still over from online. So it's a very control to address that. Tennessee, western part of Tennessee, is kind of heavy center for CWD, chronic pollution disease. And the fear is could pass on to wild pigs. And if you do so, then how about pass on to pasture cattle or so we're addressing that as well. There's no good solution right now, so everybody knows here. So it is, that a lot of, it's over 100 people out there. Started Colorado. Now, migrated. So we're trying to kind of stretch our head, how do we do that? So seeing the herd is what they want. They're looking at these colored monitors, these capture data using helicopter traffic, Colorado and monitoring the behavior, locomotion, so that looking at transmission. Because in Freon, as we all know, is you're looking at very far to this point, 1,800 degrees. That's what it takes to perform. 1,800 feet is what Freon. So those are things that will also relate to.
And I feel to me, I heard you just focus on culture. I would say. So I think it's too alive. They have a good development, but the agriculture is something that's too strong. The oldest department is a science department.
Yes.
That's we use economics only.
Yes.
So economics. So that's the economics.
Absolutely. Once again, I mentioned that we were convergence research. If you look, I didn't mention Joy. If we do UT, University of Tennessee, Sheila, to search, Sheila Farm, and we have about 30 people
from different departments, computer science, ag engineering, apple science, ag economics, science, reporting, all that is a team of about 25 staff and folks are working on that. So we are that's one of the initiatives we're working on. I think that'll be another area we can sort of leverage. And Tennessee is, actually, we're already in the United States in this area because we took, the resources going to visit. I don't know if you know the gentleman named, Andy Berkman with the Catholic University of Louisville, Belgium. If you go to Apollo or you can, mention that name that everyone knows. He's a kind of the grandfather of PLF. So he retired from Louisville, and so we hired him. And I have been for the past 25 years. So, and the Belgium has been for retirement 65. The guy is just sharp as his back. So we hired him part-time basis to help us develop a program. Yeah.
I would like to have some negotiation with people to know or about documentation about exchange some, for example, send some students and receive some students. The agreements are all right.
We are going to work on them, as we already discussed yesterday, the different possibilities, but we are going to work on a general agreement. So that the flow of students, obviously we have to find the grants to go for that, grants from either side, from both sides. But that's the idea is to make this connection.
And one of the things we discussed with Fatanid, I think it's important to talk to you all as well, is to try to push more from Fatanid.
Yes.
I have even seen a lot of undergrads and kids used to come to work from 4 to a year, and everything is paid by that. So it makes it much easier. So I can afford there some housing and everything that they need to run the tribes there and all the support there. But the scholarship is all around.
Yeah, there's a connection with the talk with Fatanid. Fatanid is very much private partnership. Science, most of the presentations we presented private public partnerships. This is a seed template, let's say, to connect with companies. Say, hey, we do that job. So we have to think globally. So, for instance, for companies that are internationally, so that have sometimes has connection in common with the EU science or the veterinary groups, and then you guys can connect. And also to promote, hey, we have a connection, a Brazilian connection eventually in a company that wants to have access to the American market. So it could be.
And even for them to hire good people there, right? I had some of the students that they were there still in the conference for me were calling it, where you come down. And some of them went here and be a job. So we need to find a way to be creative on this, as we don't have something like that. It would be great for us as well to start to master the students. We don't have much at this point. We would like to have more. We have to try to recruit. And English has been an issue. You guys are kind of a step ahead, but we're courses here that we're teaching English. I'm receiving news weekly, sometimes daily. When you start talking, you feel like, how can I get these prepared to go through a stats course and make through a master day or a few years? So it would be very nice as well to be able to work more with your undergrads and with your help try to identify the students that could be able to make it there. So what do we need to do to push more English into the undergrad level? To show them the importance of what they like today and be here listening to all this stuff. I like to mention this because I didn't go there for a PhD program, but to me it was something that was so far and nobody ever, put me in a chair and said, you can do this, that's the way you do it. So I think that's one of the things that myself as a Brazilian there, I would like to see more here. And I think Mateus pushing this hard here is to show the path. How can we, what we need to do to get you there in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And we'll launch out you guys on this year.
just say that every year CNPq has a call for foreign fellowship scholarships for students for the postdoc and as well for sandwich tourism everywhere in the world.
So how can we work with dean, graduate deans to put together maybe a call for 5, 6, 10 scholarships with universities here?
Really start out. Say, hey, all I have is partnership. You know, discuss this, so maybe, consider this. So make sure the program has a reader, but having that conversation with them, we want to really strengthen that relationship, because this is one of the common
We see that in the strategy inside the university, so we really need to do the homework to see how to improve this, the idea of students involved abroad and everything. But I think one thing that does is very important, that the AP is a very important partner on this way, because the money, the grant for students to go abroad, professors, and very interesting. I don't know if you have contact with the people, the guys that work with development, regional development in academia. Okay, the state of Minas Gerais had secretary of the improvement about regional improvement and everything. So these kind of persons of the that this one, and they are using a lot of money and spending a lot of money to universities by talking to develop system, improve the agricultural and something related to activities in Minas Gerais, whatever, the big state. So I think that's important to have a quick conversation with them, because they can spend money if the focus is on the development, regional development. So we really send, for example, students or professors and bring some technologies or knowledge about your country and review and bring to apply here to develop the region. Maybe this opportunity to have money for this or for this, or create a system for breaking for this kind of thing, right? I think that's a very important thing to discuss.
Yeah, something that it's important to mention, yes, that they mentioned yesterday is that a lot of this money goes to FAMI. And their working capacity is low. So they have the money, but they don't have the people. So it's important to connect the FAMI people. So to work on projects on the fields. But it's, as Dr. Shi mentioned, agriculture is the top priority in more topics. So all the different players, and it's also to connect. I like also the presentations that you guys are very much connected to Solver, for instance. So if we present that, so it's not only benefit UFLA, this connection, it's the whole state and the major players that we have in the state. So we mentioned that they are starting their work mission in Minas Gerais, UFLA, but they are in São Paulo. Right? So we can't lose this coverage.
We cannot put all the eggs in one basket.
We like the priority, so
Yeah.
the first step was here, so very honored that you made this choice, right? And hopefully we can be fruitful. So I think we said to open a call for Sandwich PhD, but it's different from the past now. It's customized to a different, to a special, for instance, now it's Sweden in aeronautics, engineering, and so it's different from the call that was open in the past. So it's something that we can look at. Hey, how about AI and animal production and plant production? So eventually they open this call for Sandwich in the United States, and then I doubt it if it can be specifically to UT, but if we have this coalition ongoing, it's definitely a plus to apply this kind
What about CAPS?
CAPS is, we have this call, so the PDSE, so it's we have one scholarship per program. Unfortunately, it's very low. The demand was much higher this year than actually what we could offer. But CAPS, I asked Bruce because it's more connected with the graduate program. It's going to launch the global, and it's a different approach to the print what we had in the past. So it's more is to have Brazil more of a leader or with international partners and equally to have a scholarship to sign a student. What do we win with that? Cheap labor going there, actually with a project that was already ongoing, and then the student come back with a project that's they it's very important to have most of the projects that overlap. That's why we made this exercise to have overlap in terms of research lines, so that we really can come up with this CAPS global that can be very effective and have a student that goes there, but it's really connected to something that's being developed in both institutions.
For FAPESP, that's meant.
Yeah.
All of the students I have there from
CAPS,
FAPESP, they need to submit a proposal to FAPESP,
Mhm.
telling them what they're going to do with me.
Uh-huh.
So then the students, and I already had some of them, because it was kind of because they couldn't handle their specific research topic, that was going decided they were looking at. So I think FAPESP does it very well. It would be a good way to see it. And I think we also have to apply with some of the calls I've been working with the annual meeting for the Brazilian Society and science. Would be nice to try to use those as well. We should expose some of our faculty here to you guys. So if it could work with you all when you have the national meetings, the annual meetings, if we could be able to join you guys and have one guy that can come here and talk about what they're doing there. I think those are the opportunities I have that open a lot of doors to me as a faculty. So we start to open up possibilities. The students would know that, right? They feel like they can name that guy a week later. Yeah, I met you last week. I like you what you very sad in their life with you. So if we could work together in this kind of calls, that would be great. I don't know how we could work from there, but I know that CPQ has
We also have the center that can speak for 3,000 people. I don't know how big is the annual science international meeting. So it can fit.
Yeah,
So it's
that's where
okay.
that's where we're gonna do it.
Great.
And it's July and June.
Next year, we have a meeting. It's pathology. It's the national meeting. It will be here in August this year.
This
This year.
is
Yeah. So and we can split in 4 different rooms. We have also many rooms, especially if we don't have classes at home because the building is so devoted for classes. If we can find a moment that we don't have class, we can access the university.
And that's where we're
Great.
hoping that July is still gonna be
Yeah, most
vacation
likely.
next year. Sometimes it changes.
Yeah.
Oh, the vacation can be good and bad. Good for the program. And for example, with the idea you guys have a course in English here. If you had a chance to send someone else to you, and program here. With this idea for 2 or 3 days, we had a short-term course. That's right. I bet we have people that have lunch and do something. We have a short-term course here. And 3 days, 4 days. They come on.
Não,
Those are the kind of work
só que já tem uma boa mas tem todo mundo.
So.
Geral, qualquer lugar.
Not too much on science, but skills that can be funding for innovation, it's easier today in Brazil. So actually, you can discuss about, I saw that you present something that machine about robotic system innovation. Discuss more topics, maybe Bruno can add another opportunity. It's another way to have more.
Actually, there's, well, the opportunity for innovation. like to have right now. So, for the US now is facing serious challenges of half the AI. With poultry, down to dairy. So those kind of things, how do we help? So besides biosecurity, what else can we do, right? So what can we do in terms of real-time use of AI-based monitoring, machine learning, that's innovation. The industry is looking at these affordable practical sensors. So sensors is sensing is going to be huge. So in terms of innovation, and it could be used for human too. We talk about hyperconnectivity. How do we use the cheaper sensors, monitoring human health from respect, right? Things like that. Same thing with that. I did a lot of things I didn't quite talk about it. I gave a talk in Italy, Rome, in CPL meeting this year. So, practical things that we could use to also do more innovation on too. But you're right, there are other things, areas too. There's a lot of looking for innovation. So AI could be anything. We haven't, I didn't mention that. AI has the initiative. So really from manufacturing to health, healthcare, and also agriculture. Those are the three major things. So yeah, I would use AI to really accelerate innovation.
I'm thinking several things. My mind is blowing out, but
That's good. That's good. And then you kind of condense it to the area of medical, right? Right now, I'm trying to condense the thing that I have listened.
urgency that you can strategy get together and maybe show you something with your data or okay.
Yeah.
And if you, for example, animal nutrition guys, if you decide that you want to talk to us, I'll be more than glad to put my animal nutrition guys there and we'll set a Zoom meeting and you guys spend whatever you want. Or you're saying. If you want to do something, please let us know. I'll be more than happy to.
That's a great idea. The solution for all that is right? So I think Bernie said that he already covered with Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we already, so yeah, that's a good example. And I don't know, Bill Meyer, but kind of like Robot. Yeah, Troy, all the genomics and sensors. And so just, I think we can talk about I like to have a talk with you, not a talk down, but we can make a connection. The real work is really each other. We're here to kind of make a connection. We'll be between. After that, I'm going to get out of the way. But I'm going to do it. So, yeah. Maybe provide some resources.
Okay.
Anything,
Professor, sure.
if you want some more questions, send to me or Professor Fernando, and we can.
Finalizar aqui.